let's just jump right in with a big question. One we think we all know the answer to. What makes a real hero? Is it about being able to fly, having super strength, or is it something else entirely, something a lot more human? Now take a look at this date, May 27th, 1995. On this single day, in this one moment, one of Hollywood's most iconic figures, and really the whole world, would be forced to completely redefine what that word, hero, actually means. So that's what we're diving into today, the incredible life and legacy of Christopher Reeve, in what we're calling the hero's second act. All right, so let's set the scene. We're in Culpeper, Virginia, at a competitive equestrian event. Christopher Reeve is there, and, he was a seriously passionate and skilled horseman. This wasn't just some weekend hobby for him. He fell in love with it after learning to ride for a movie. So he's approaching the third jump on his horse, Eastern Express, when suddenly the horse just stops, completely refuses the jump, and the laws of physics just took over. Reeve, who was a big guy, 215 pounds, was launched forward. His hands got caught in the reins, so he couldn't even break his fall, and he landed directly on his head. The impact was catastrophic. It shattered his first and second vertebrae, an injury so severe it's sometimes called a hangman's fracture. His skull was essentially disconnected from his spinal column. The injury left him paralyzed from the neck down, and he couldn't even breathe on his own. The man of steel had become unimaginably fragile. And that's the unbelievable, tragic irony of it all, isn't it? The man who was the very symbol of invincibility to an entire generation was now lying broken in a hospital. To really understand his second act, we've got to go back and look at the first. Reeve beat out over 200 other actors to play Superman, and this quote right here, this tells you exactly why. He saw something different in the character. It wasn't just about a strong jaw and big muscles. He wanted to create a hero for a new time, one who could be powerful, but also gentle. And wow, did he deliver! His performance in that 1978 film was a huge success. It was really the first time a superhero movie got that blockbuster treatment and critical acclaim. He didn't just play the part, he made us all believe a man could fly. This is where you see his genius. He created two completely distinct people. His Clark Kent was this masterclass in physical comedy, all bumbling and awkward. He actually based him on Cary Grant's character in an old movie. And then his Superman was powerful, of course, but also so kind and approachable. This incredible dual performance is what made him a global superstar. Which brings us back to that quiet, sterile hospital room. The fame, the physicality, all of it, gone in a flash. In his memoir, Reeve was brutally honest. He said he felt it was selfish and unfair to remain alive. Just think about that. He was trapped, couldn't move, couldn't breathe. He'd lost all hope. The physical and emotional pain was so profound that he saw suicide as the only escape. He actually mouthed those words to his wife, Dana. And in that moment of absolute despair, right when he was ready to give up, his wife, Dana, looked at him. She looked past all the machines and the tubes and the injury, and she saw the man she married. And the words she said next would give him a new reason to live. You're still you. That's it. 5 simple words. But for Christopher Reeve, those words held the power to start his new mission. His identity wasn't gone. His body was broken, but his spirit, his mind, his love, he was still in there. This was the true beginning of his second act. And what an incredible act it would be. Reeve didn't just fight for himself. He took his personal struggle and turned it into a global movement. He decided to use that famous face of his to become the voice for millions of people who didn't have one. He became this tireless, relentless advocate. He co-founded research centers, he lobbied Congress for more funding for stem cell research, and he became a powerful champion for the rights of all people with disabilities. He was no longer just acting on screen, he was acting for real, meaningful change. And the results have been staggering. To date, the Reeve Foundation has given over $140 million to research. And get this, before his accident, spinal cord research was often called the graveyard of neurobiology, a dead end. Reeve almost single-handedly helped turn it into one of the most exciting and promising fields in medicine. And check out this direct impact. Thanks in large part to his relentless lobbying, the budget for the National Institutes of Health more than doubled in just 5 years. He wasn't just giving inspiring speeches, he was moving mountains of bureaucracy and funding. Christopher Reeve passed away back in 2004, but the second act he started Well, it created a legacy of hope that has only grown stronger with every passing year. The foundation he started is still doing vital work. After he died, his incredible wife, Dana, took over until she tragically passed away from lung cancer in 2006. But their work culminated in 2009 when the Christopher and Dana Reeve Paralysis Act was signed into law, making sure their fight would continue for generations to come. And this brings us right back to our original question. Here it is in his own words, Christopher Reeve's final definition of a hero. He became the living embodiment of that idea, a man who faced an obstacle most of us can't even imagine, and found the strength not just to endure, but to change the world. So we'll leave you with this thought. For all his physical power as Superman, Christopher Reeve's true strength was only revealed when all of that was taken away. He taught us that a hero's greatest power isn't in their body, but in their capacity to create hope for others.